Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dark Souls 3. Today I've got a few new weapons to mess around with, the pickaxe being one, the Estoc greatsword being another. We're going to mess around with the Fume Ultra Greatsword a little bit later down the line. I finally got this fully upgraded, this is almost all the way, this is almost all the way. I have been doing some work. We've got this up there as well now. Yeah, we've got a lot to play with basically. Oh, hi. Sorry. Oh, I see. Do you really think that strat's gonna work well against someone who actually knows how to deal with it? Come on now. You're watching too many YouTube videos. You are watching way too many YouTube videos if you think that no one knows how to deal with that. That's just silly. The reason I went for this one in particular is because it's got that magic damage, so I can chip through the shield slightly. Shodel would have been better, but I actually don't have one. That's on my list of things I need to go and find. So, that said, I know, at least I think, Patches sells it. But I think I've missed my opportunity to buy it from him on this build. So, my next opportunity for a weapon that will do good shield piercing and whatnot, without relying on its L2, that would be the one dropped by those snake men. It's a dagger, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that the one that's dropped by the other guys? There are two weapons that look very similar, and I can't recall which one is which, so... Goddard swords. Oh boy. Hello, funky backstab. That's very strange. Okay, range, that's cool too. Couldn't get the parry off. Shame. Still, that was a surprising amount of damage on that rolling R1. That 600 some odd damage hit. That was very unexpected. If it was a counterattack, if it was a thrusting counterattack, then I would understand it a little bit more, but that's just a very high amount of damage to deal. Also, this sword looks, in a way, a lot like the Lost Sinner's sword to me. I know it doesn't function that way. That said, we never really officially figured out how that one in particular functioned. No weapons like that this time around, thankfully. Everything is relatively straightforward. That's a good thing. It makes my job easier. So yeah, the pickaxe, I played around with it a little bit the other day. I actually really am enjoying this thing. I have not looked into infusing it. C-scaling and strength right off the bat isn't bad, but that said, throwing on a heavy gem would be a very wise idea if I had to take a guess. It would probably jump it up to an A scaling, which is, of course, really, really, really good. Weapon art with this one in particular, Galvanize, not particularly useful. And this guy's using Gundar's halberd, so that's going to be fun. Aw, the range. Hello, lag. No? Yes, yes, the R1 spam. The slightly laggy R1 spam. I'm not good at dealing with that. Something about Halberd R1 spam, I just really struggle to deal with it. Even when there is no slight lag to it, I always struggle to deal with it in this game. I'm not quite sure what it is. I just have a hard time. Simple as that. And that's okay. Still learning, still getting good. Got a long way to go, don't get me wrong. Old Dark Souls 1 habits and all. People were making comments on the earlier videos of the series, asking why I'm bad now and whatnot. And I explained it a little bit, but really the reason for it, this game is a lot more like Dark Souls 1 than Dark Souls 2. It doesn't take much looking to see that. And as such, it's got a more similar playstyle requirement to Dark Souls 1 than Dark Souls 2. It's less reliant on glitches, don't get me wrong. And that's a very good thing. However, I was saying something. Ooh, yeah. That rolling R2. If I had gone for an R1, it probably would have missed him, and I would have been out of range. So yeah, Dark Souls 1 habits versus Dark Souls 2 habits. There's a lot that you could get away with in Dark Souls 2 due to the more floaty nature of the PvP that you can't get away with in Dark Souls 1. Same goes for comparing it to Dark Souls 3. It doesn't have as floaty of a movement type, so you really can't get away with a lot of the same strategies. And with the amount of time that I'd put into Dark Souls 2, more recently than Dark Souls 1, I have a lot of Dark Souls 2 habits and tendencies that don't translate well. So we've got that curved sword. Ooh, good parry. Hello, range. Okay, I get it. No need to be cocky about it. Just run up and do an R1. That thing has some real phantom range. That's a really big benefit to the weapon. It's a really long curved sword to begin with, but then it's got some real phantom range on top of it. Again, something that we just need to get used to. He had a slightly awkward playstyle, in all honesty. The walk up and press R1 once method, and then wait, and wait, and wait. He was really trying to aim at punishing rolls, which is a very viable play style. It actually reminds me of what the Dropout Dragon does, or did, in Dark Souls 2 a lot, where he would punish rolls and overuse of stamina. He would just get up all in your face, and then make you panic roll and act weird about it. Gets me every time. And that guy did the same sort of strat, and it got me. Very, very well. Going full cosplay, I see. Never mind. Thanks, game, for weird hitboxes. 10 out of 10 jumping attack tracking. I'll take a backstab now, please. Ooh. Thought he would have attacked sooner. Shame on me for that. Great shields, though. He didn't really rely on it, so that's a good thing. I would have preferred the fight if he stayed full cosplay, not pulling out the scythe, but oh well. It was a good fight nonetheless. Alright. I have yet to get anyone who is actually even somewhat aggressive. I'm not going to bother summoning that guy just because of his weapon choice. Lots of phantom range on that one. Can't tell what it is, but I'm summoning it. I think it was a great sword or an ultra great sword. Yeah, I don't like dealing with the sword spear. The dragon, whatever sword spear. Not a fan. I also have the Crescent Axe upgraded. Lucerne is getting there. And the Great Scythe is upgraded as well. So we have a lot to test and play with. Oh, also Partisan. I did do that. Spiked Mace, for those who didn't see that little stupid video I put up the other day. It was a really good time. It's such a stupid good weapon. Like, it's a really stupid good weapon. Hi, friend. Come on down. There's the counter hits I'm looking for. Ooh, I didn't think that would hit me. I was on his side. I am impressed. And that's what that noise was. His Morion blade activated. Very nice to see that someone is actually using that. That's cool. I still need to test to see if its damage increase is affected by the amount that it's been upgraded. I feel like it should be, but I feel like it won't be. Just my 2 cents on the matter. I feel like it should, but I feel like it won't. The reason I feel like it should is because the damage increase it gives right off the bat, it's not very high. It's just not very much of an increase. It's something, and that's great, but it's nothing spectacular. It's probably a good thing that it's nothing spectacular, though. Having hyper mode back is a scary concept. Yay, stupid combos. It's a guaranteed 4-hit combo, guys. What can I say? It's such a stupid little combo. If someone's using a spear or something I don't really feel like dealing with personally, I might just pull this out on them just to make my life a little easier and get a couple laughs out of it. Alright. Let's go for the Crescent Axe now, and we'll start from the bottom and move up. I don't want to mess with Gunders. So yeah, this thing has an interesting moveset. Oh, that was odd. Huh. Strange. Yeah, it's just got a standard scythe, or not scythe, halberd moveset. But with a very short reach. Good hyper armor, though, which is something I definitely can't complain about. So yeah, as you guys saw, normally its charged R2 is a double spin, but when using your L2, it changes it to the charge. So you got a good bit of variety that its moveset offers you. Eh, I guess I'll rest at the bonfire super quick to get my attunement back. My attunement. My focus points. You mean what I know. Alright, let's take a seat. A little bit of high CPU usage. Hopefully that doesn't have any negative effects. Let me just close some things super quick. Just realized I left that open and this open as well. Alright, that should help. Okay. Spicy meat. One other thing about this, it's uninfused. I was looking at the infusions with it though. It seems as though the hollow infusion surprisingly does a fair bit for it. It seems like it gives it a really good scaling. I don't know why, but it just appears to be that way. Maybe I'm imagining it, but that's what it looked like to me. Yep. His strat was not working. His strat was not working, so he ran to die. Shame. Didn't let me even have the satisfaction of running him down. Alright. Just adjusted the way I'm sitting, that's a little more comfy. Weapon-wise, we're going to keep the Partisan on. I'm not sure if I want to stick with this just because Halberd moveset, you know, it's nothing terribly special. Try this out. Do I have the weight for it? I don't have the weight for it. Could we go back to Astora's? I'm not sure. Scylla? I need to upgrade these. I don't have any katanas upgraded, actually. That's kind of silly. Battle axe is upgraded, that's a good one. We actually haven't used this in PvP yet. Oh, a spear. I'll try my spear out. We'll see how this goes. Try to do a running attack. Knew it was coming. Timing on that wake up. That is something I'm getting better at doing. Also, the Partisan has a really good attack for it, because you just have to circle behind them and then just press it. It works extremely well, as you guys just saw. I guess we'll stick with the Battle Axe for another couple fights, but I do want to use the Crescent Moon and Storm Curved a little bit later on. So, we'll get to that in time. Drake Blood possibly as well. Nice thing about Drake Blood in a way is that you can still buff it. So when you do buff it, of course, if you go magic or lightning on it, it does good things. I see you trying to be sneaky. I knew that attack was coming. The winning wombat did not win this round. Anyone? There we go. Alright, let's switch this over. No, let's switch this one over. Great Scythe, and this one will go to Falchion. Shame about this Scimitar. An A scaling and not much to show for it. Like, even if I switched this over to the Hunter's Ring, it still is not much to show for it. And that's at 40-40, 45-40. It's kind of sad. Like, it's really just kind of sad. That said, this is the better ring for me to actually have on at the moment. Oop. Here, just take a sip. My bad. See, I expected that to come out. Couldn't get the double roll. I saw it coming, and I just couldn't do anything about it. I've started putting on throwing knives, despite how cheesy they are, and the fact that I don't like them, just to deal with other people who pull them out, and who pull out other thrown weapons. Throwing knives are more cheesy than firebombs, I will admit. Although I think I'm actually out of firebombs. No, I have 20 of them. I forgot that I bought them. So we'll actually switch that back on. Now that I can free aim firebombs Dark Souls 1 style, that's actually going to be a really good thing. I'm going to look forward to getting good at throwing those again. Because for those who remember, in Dark Souls 1, I could throw those things so amazingly well. Just leading the throw with it, just getting to roll straight into it as they were going by. I was good at that. I was so good at that. I can think of at least 2 instances where I had some really good throws, and I believe they were, if I'm remembering proper, in the mace weapon showcase in Dark Souls 1. Like, really top-notch throws. And running jump attack into plunge attacks, oh, so good. Off the stairs in the Ullasil Township. Dude. Do you want to not heal on me again? Fine. Be that way. Bad habit to put the shield up. Oh yes, oh yes. Keep chugging that Estus, buddy. Who heals in a duel? Who heals when you are summoned? Come on. Who does that? People. Yeah, that right there is a bad habit, though. Going to block with the shield after being low on stamina. Because in Dark Souls 1, it didn't matter. Dark Souls 2, it mattered, of course, but like I said, some Dark Souls 1 habits are coming back, and some of them are very, very bad. That one being one of them. It gets me every single time. I keep doing it. That's the worst part. I keep doing it. It's disappointing. Oh, you're that guy who decided to run off the edge because I didn't fall for your little games. I'll keep this on this time. And that's what having a shield up does. At least he didn't run off the edge this time. Alright, new weapon time. I just used a curved sword. I'll leave that one on. Scythe, however, I will change off. We'll mess with the claws, just because. They're honestly not overly special, but they're still kind of fun. And they've got bleed, so we will put on a buff to them, just because they're weak otherwise. I mean, damage-wise, we're looking at 244. So yeah, that can add up, but the real benefit to these is their bleed, more than anything else. Oh, and we're fighting that thing. Oh boy. Yeah, this is not going to work well. Ting! Huh, I like how I was standing and lowering because he killed me on the edge right there. Yeah, that was not going to work well. Once I saw what weapon he was using, I knew I was going to be in for a world of hurt, just because he could poise through literally every single thing I did. And my alternate weapon wouldn't have been much health, just due to the fact that it would run into the exact same issue. Short range, big problems. We'll keep the claws on. We'll switch this back to the spear, back to the partisan, just to mess with that. Want to get a nice, good Leo ring counter with it before I switch to something else. Also, on that note, the Estoc Greatsword, because its skill is charge, you can get some really good counterattacks with that. Another big thing with it is because it's R2 is a thrust attack. If you go for a lot of charged R2s, they'll start to expect that. And when you go for the charge instead, it actually comes out faster. So they won't expect. Did he just... Cool. Graceful phantoms are graceful. But hey, free souls. The legend. Goddard swords. I don't really feel like dealing with that. Not in the mood. No thank you. And sure, I'm using a spear, so I might be able to do okay against it. But if he buffed his Goddard swords, then I'd be kind of screwed. So if he had a Leo ring, if he buffed, if he spent his time doing rolling L2s, or L1s rather, it just wouldn't have worked well for me. These things happen. So, I mean, that said, I actually could have put on the Spiked Mace and just dealt with him like that, because that's always kind of funny. But even still, I feel like this is a better approach. Ah, Corvan Great Knife. Now there's something we don't see every day. I'm not going to buff on that. Okay. Hornet. I'm not shocked. I really am not shocked. It's kind of sad. Woohoo! Parrying shield and a Hornet ring. 10 out of 10. See, things like that, I don't miss that. I'm really annoyed that they brought it back in a way, because weapons can deal enough damage on criticals without that damage being boosted. Just my 2 cents on the matter. Yes, it's a fantastic ring if you're in a gank situation and you pull off a wonderful sneaky backstab, or if you pull off a clutch parry. That's great. But for just general use, general PvP, it's a minor annoyance. Just because, yes, it takes a little tiny bit of skill, tiny bit, to get a parry with a parrying shield. If there were limitations on when it could be used in some way, shape, or form, I'd feel better about it. They're buffing. Okay. Don't spam roll attacks. It's not good for your health. No? Ooh, extremely bad timing. Extremely bad timing. I tried to roll in on that, I rolled sideways. It would have got me either way, but wow, that was horribly timed. Wow. I had that too. That's the sad thing about it. I had that. I just horribly timed one attack, one dodge, and everything went extremely downhill, extremely rapidly. That's a minor disappointment. Charged attacks. They can deal some silly damage, gotta say. It's pretty great. Like, for example, that charged R2 I just did, this one right here, I've hit over 580 damage with it. Yeah. Can you imagine if it was like a thrusting attack and an actual counter hit? Like, for real. If it was a regular spear, not a partisan, but even a standard spear, or something like a winged spear. Is the winged spear even in this game? I'd assume so. That would deal stupid damage. Like, absolutely stupid damage. That's a buffed up Estoc greatsword. That's what that is right there. Get a little bait on that. Hooray for hyper armor. Even with the spear, that attack gets a ton of hyper armor. And that said, an R1 into that is, again, a guaranteed 4-hit combo, if I'm not mistaken. That said, we're going to test it. I'm going to see if I can get an R1 into that attack. It won't be as easy to do because of the fact that it, even though it will have some hyper armor, it won't have as much hyper armor as a Great Hammer. But we will see what we can do with it. Who knows? We might be able to do some good work. This guy's using a butcher's knife. That's always fun. Hi, friend.
Hello.
Shame about that sweet spot. Everyone's liking their rolling attacks a lot today. Whoop, no, no. Spam those dodges, man. I could not catch him with my spear. Good use of the Armor of Thorns. Definitely good use of it. I will give him that. I really struggled to catch him with those dodges, though. I could not get it. Huh. I wonder if he was possibly using that ring. The milk ring. Not the milk ring. The blood ring. I wonder if he was using that, because I was really struggling to get those punishes. Like, a lot. Let's get him back in here. I want to fight him one more time. Lucky that I picked his sign up. This time, however, we will be switching up our weapon selection. Let's see. This? Maybe. Curved sword. Sure, we'll go with that one. And for the backup, I guess we'll go with that too.
Oh no!
Nice little combo right there. Nice. My parries are on point right now. I am quite happy with this. This guy's got some Havels on, so we'll see how that goes. And in fact, just because he's got some Havels on, and Havels doesn't have the best bleed defense, I'm gonna switch things up. And Leo Ring won't be helpful here, but what will be helpful is actually the right eye. Boosts attack as long as attacking persists. And since it is a 4-hit combo, that means it will somewhat slightly boost the attack. So this could be fun. So let's see. Do I want to set a backup? No rolling attack, that's a shame. He's slow walking down here like he's all cool. Going full cosplay, I will respect that. Okay, range, that's cool. Oh, I was in range on that? I didn't expect to be. Good fight, Havel. Good fight. I didn't expect the range that he had. That was good, though. I liked that. Kong. Okay. So enough of that. Who am I kidding? We'll do one more with it. It's a silly, fun weapon to do it with. Another weapon that has the ability would be Lucerne. And that one can do it with counter hits too, so it's even nicer. I am definitely a fan of it. I just need to finish upgrading it. The glaive has that ability, and this, in theory, also might have that ability. I'd have to test it. Oh, hello, phone. I was mentioned in a post on Facebook. Come on. How did you not get hit? Okay, that's some lag. That's all I've got to say about that. That is some lag, because clearly that was a trade. Made the sound and everything. He didn't dodge at the time. That was some lag. And I know some of you will scream, complaints, complaints, you were outplayed. But no. No, you guys are wrong. That's lag. Hands down. When my weapon goes through him and he does not move anywhere in any way, and the sound goes off but he takes no damage, no. No. At that point, something's funky. Standard halberd, just because why not? And what do I want to use? Battle axe. Are we really going for a run right now? You're really trying hard to bait that dude. You can't try so hard to make me run around. I'm expecting it. Plus I'm doing running attacks at you. If anything, my fast running attack is going to hit before your slow pyromancy. It's not a good strat. It's really just not a good strat at all. What do I feel like using, guys? I'm not sure. I guess we'll mess with this. Ooh, that was good. And a Hornet ring. That's death. If I had gone for an R1 instead, and that's something I actually don't like right there. I don't like how good all fist weapons are at parrying in the offhand. They're weapons. They are first and foremost weapons. They're not parrying tools. They should not be parrying tools. But that's what everyone uses them for. When was the last time you actually saw someone use a fist weapon as a weapon, aside from when I did it in this video? Think about it. Like, honestly, think about it. They only use them for parrying tools. I don't get it. It's going to be nerfed, I'm sure, because that's probably really unintentional. But yeah, if I'd gone for an R1 instead, then I probably would have not gotten parried, or if I had charged that, or gone for a L2. I had options, I didn't take advantage of them, and I should have expected it once I saw that he had that in his offhand. Because even the Demon's Fist is stupidly good at parrying. It's really, really unfortunate. Because that's just all anyone's ever going to use them for. They're not going to actually use them as weapons, and it annoys me in a way. Because they deserve a chance. What do we have? A dark sword? Come on down, friend. Oh, we're going that route. Well, if that's how you want to be, I'll throw on something slightly different super quick. So, where was I? I was here. Didn't feel like dealing with buffed dark sword. What was that? Sounded like there was a goose outside of my window or something. I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of. It's just something that I haven't had happen. We'll switch that off in the meantime. Is that an Estoc? Ew. Yep. If only I had actually riposted him after I guard broken him. That might have changed the flow of the fight. Still, we got a fair bit of damage on him, and this weapon doesn't deal much damage on riposte. The butcher's knife might have, though. Oh well. Pretty much anyone playing with an Estoc is unpleasant, though. It's kind of annoying. And him, defensive play with an Estoc? No. The worst part is your kick is slower than their poke. So you would never be able to get a kick off because they would just see you starting to do it and they would poke you and stun you out of it. Really a very unfortunate thing to have happen. So your best bet is either put on a heavy weapon, which is what I should have done, and then just bash their shield, or hope for something better than what I did. I am really failing with this thing. Clearly! Wow, I was not even in range. I'm a little bit shocked by that last swing that I wasn't in range, but okay. I mean, clearly I wasn't, but I swear that I would have been. I really need to learn the range on my weapons. That's one thing that's really getting me killed more often than not. I'm just not familiar with the range, I'm not familiar with the sweet spots. There's just a lot that I need to get used to still. Gecko, Navlin, Goliath. junky cube. The whole point of me putting on this weapon is to actually use this weapon. I should probably, you know, do that. So you can really do that until you're almost fully reset. A whip! Oh boy, a whip! How kinky! Witch's Locks. Great weapon. Ooh, I fell right into that. You got me good with that bait. Solid damage, too. Okay, I realize it's got a very strangely wide sideways hitbox, but I didn't realize it was a 90-degree hitbox. And that's after I used that weapon for a good few hours myself. 90-degree hitbox on that thing. Good to know. I'll take advantage of that attack more. That's extremely good to know. Shame that I dove straight into his pyromancy. That's actually probably that is in fact the third time that that's been hit on me. First time was by fighting Cowboy because I had never seen the pyromancy before. Second time was when I got attacked from behind by someone. And third time just then. And that time I actually just ran straight first into it like a dumbass. Oh well. Gotta pay more attention to these things. Like, in a way, I saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming soon enough. So, curved swords, I'm still not overly impressed with them. And this guy's got a buff and a great shield, if I'm not mistaken. So, we are going to go spinny spinny on him. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna shoot that again? Yes, you are. So the reason that the combo didn't work that time around is because I hit him with a second R1 instead of a first R1, and for some reason, going from a second R1 into L2 is slower than going from a first R1 into L2. For example, R1, L2 versus R1, R1, L2. Something about it is slightly off, maybe not necessarily slower, but it just doesn't catch people in the stun nearly the same as if it was a regular singular R1. I don't know why. I'm not going to look that deep into the reasoning why. It's just a thing. And to be perfectly fair, it should be that way. This weapon should not have a 4-hit combo. No weapon should have a 4-hit combo. Unless it's a multi-hit attack to begin with. And then fine. Because generally multi-hit attacks are weaker. So when I mean by multi-hit attack, I mean like the L2 charge of a halberd. It's a multi-hit attack. It hits multiple times per attack. It's just the way that it is. Black Knight, greatsword, huh? Alright. Yeah, why not? I'll just buff up for this one too. Just for shits and giggles, as they say. He had hyper armor. Got a little bleed on him too. So yeah, as you guys can see, this weapon is incredibly silly, which is why I just throw it on occasion when I feel like getting an easy win. That said, let's use the Exiled Greatsword now, because I haven't actually messed around with this one very much. You don't see curved greatswords terribly often in this game. Bit of a shame. I realize they're rare, but this thing's got some really good running attacks. Good quick running R1 when two-handed and when one-handed. Decently wide sweeps. That's an R2 right there. But it gets the point across. Good wide sweeps. R1s are good wide sweeps as well. Your R2s when two-handed are really powerful, hard to hit with. And then you've got the chain spin. Spin slash. Not chain spin, that's a halberd one. Specifically for this one. Didn't I just say it wasn't common to see curved greatswords? Like, dude, you are literally ruining the exact thing that I said. And you're using the same sword. Props. I wanted to do a running attack. Morion Blade. No? Not the Morion Blade. What was that? That went off. Red Tear Stone Ring must have been. Why would you play with no armor? Damage absorption and everything, man. Gotta watch out for that. But literally, that would be my luck, where I say, you know, curved greatswords aren't common. And the guy that I'm summoning at the time is using the exact same one that I'm using. That would be my luck. These things, they tend to happen. I wonder if Goddard's twin swords have their damage go up faster if they account as more attacks persisting because they're dual weapons. You know what I mean? This guy has a parrying dagger. And as such, I'm just gonna go for a trade with him. He had hyper armor. There we go. He wanted the parry. And if someone wants the parry, I don't like giving them the parry. Simple as that. And getting the bleed on the finishing hit. That's always a nice little bonus right there. So we're just gonna end things here for the day, I suppose. Had a decent hour-long episode, kept me awake longer than it should have. It's now 2 in the morning almost. And I have work in the morning, so understandably, I need the sleep. I need to sleep. You mean what I know. Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I will see you all next time.